The Empress Hotel's gala in Victoria drips with opulence, but the air chokes me like a noose. My father, a retired admiral, storms through the crowd, his eyes blazing with disgust. He rips the microphone from my trembling hands, his voice a thunderclap. Stop this disgrace. You're no Fraser. This legacy is your sister's. The room spins as laughter erupts, each chuckle a dagger twisting in my gut. My mother slinks forward, her lips curled in a venomous sneer. You're nothing, she hisses, her words slicing through my soul like shards of glass. The crowd's stares burn, their whispers a funeral dirge for my worth. My heart shatters, the pain so raw it feels like my chest is caving in. I'm drowning in their betrayal, but my rage is a lifeline. They think they've crushed me. They're dead wrong. I'm Lila Fraser. I'm 38 years old. I fought 15 years in the Royal Canadian Navy. And tonight, their lies will face my fire. The chandelier's glow fades behind me as I step onto the rain-slick streets of Victoria, my boots splashing through puddles. The pain from my father's words, Malcolm Fraser, the retired admiral, burns like a wound, raw and unrelenting. You're no Fraser, he said. My mother Evelyn's venom, you're nothing, echoes in my skull. I'm a stranger in my own family's world, a world of polished wealth and hollow praise for my sister, Clara, the celebrated pianist. At 38, after 15 years as a combat officer in the Royal Canadian Navy, I'm reduced to a shadow. My chest tightens as I board my weathered sailboat, North Star, moored 2 kilometers from Victoria's inner harbor. This is my refuge, my fight, running the Salish Sea youth navigators, teaching troubled teens like Finn, a 16-year-old with a scowl sharper than a coastal storm, to sail and survive. I grip the helm, the salt air biting my face, and memories flood in. At my Naval College graduation in Esquimalt, I stood proud in my dress whites, expecting a nod from Malcolm. Instead, he and Evelyn fawned over Clara's latest recital review in the Globe and Mail. Clara's elegance defines us, Evelyn said, her eyes sliding past me. Another memory stabs, a Christmas dinner at our James Bay home, where I, a decorated officer, was sent to clear coats while Clara held court with Vancouver's elite. The worst was a sat phone call from a Persian Gulf deployment, my voice cracking with exhaustion. Evelyn, it's me, I said. Her reply, Clara's performing at Roy Thomson Hall. Can this wait? It couldn't. I was dodging missiles. Their world never had room for my kind of courage. Now, on North Star, I face Finn's defiance. Why should I listen to you? He sneers, tossing a rope. My jaw clenches, but I stay steady. Because I've sailed through worse storms than you'll ever know, I snap back, my voice low but ironclad. This program, this boat, is my answer to their rejection, a legacy built on grit, not glamour. But the weight of their dismissal, the ghost of Clara's spotlight, threatens to sink me. I won't let it. The rain hammers Victoria's inner harbor, each drop a cold slap against my face as I trudge toward the community center, 500 meters from the dock where North Star sways in the choppy Salish Sea. My heart still reels from my father Malcolm Fraser's public scorn at the Empress Hotel gala, his voice branding me a disgrace. My mother Evelyn's whisper, "You're nothing," cuts deeper than any storm. Tonight, I've been invited to speak about my Salish Sea Youth Navigators program at a community fundraiser, a chance to prove my worth, to show that my work with kids like Finn matters. The center's warmth contrasts with the icy rejection I carry, but hope flickers in my chest. Maybe tonight, someone will see me. Inside, the room buzzes with locals, fishers, teachers, and city councilors, sipping Tim Hortons coffee from paper cups. The stage is modest, lit by fluorescent lights, a far cry from the gala's chandeliers. I step up, my navy blue blazer wrinkled from the rain, and grip the podium. Thank you for having me, I begin, my voice steady despite the knot in my throat. Salish Sea Youth Navigators teaches kids resilience through sailing. Kids like Finn, who've faced storms on land and sea. I glance at Finn in the crowd, his arms crossed, his scowl softer than usual. For a moment, I dare to believe I'm making a difference. Then Clara strides in, her designer coat gleaming, her presence sucking the air from the room. She's Victoria's darling, the pianist whose recitals fill concert halls. Before I can continue, she steps onto the stage, her laugh sharp as a gull's cry. "Oh, folks, let's not bore you with my sister's little boat project," she says, her voice dripping with charm. "I'm here to share my new music festival, bringing world-class art to our city." The crowd erupts in applause, their faces lighting up for her. My words dissolve, unspoken. Malcolm, standing at the back, claps loudly, his admiral's posture rigid. "Lila, don't waste their time," he calls out, his tone a command, not a request. "Clara's vision is what Victoria needs." The room spins. My hands tremble on the podium, but I force them still, my naval training kicking in. Evelyn glides to Clara's side, her smile polished as ever. "Lila, dear, step aside," she says, loud enough for the front row to hear. "Let someone with real talent speak." The laughter that follows isn't cruel, it's worse. It's pitying, the kind that says I'm invisible, irrelevant. My program, my kids, my fight, all reduced to a footnote in Clara's spotlight. I step off the stage, my boots heavy, each step echoing the thud of my breaking heart. The crowd's eyes slide past me, as if I'm a ghost haunting their celebration of Clara. I stumble back to North Star, the wind howling across the Salish Sea, waves crashing against the dock like accusations. Alone in the cramped cabin, I slump onto the narrow bunk, my fingers brushing an old photo tucked in my jacket, a younger me in my Royal Canadian Navy dress whites, standing proud at a skimalt. The memory of that day floods back, Malcolm adjusting Clara's photo in the Globe and Mail, Evelyn praising her elegance, while my commission, my sacrifice, went unnoticed. Now, this moment feels like the final nail in my coffin. Am I nothing? I whisper to the empty cabin, my voice cracking. The pain is a tidal wave, drowning every shred of hope. I've faced missile fire in the Gulf, but this betrayal by my own blood, is a wound no training can heal. Finn's voice breaks the silence, startling me. He's climbed aboard, his hoodie soaked. "You didn't finish your speech," he says, his usual defiance gone, replaced by something softer, almost pleading. "Why'd you let her push you off?" My throat tightens. "Because no one listens, Finn," I snap, my voice raw with anguish. "Not my family, not this city." He stares, then mutters, "I listened." His words hit like a lifeline, thin but unbreakable. For the first time, I see a crack in his armor, a kid who sees me when my own family won't. The pain doesn't fade, but a spark of resolve ignites. They've tried to erase me, but I'm still here, still fighting. And I won't let their lies define me. The rain has stopped, but the Salish Sea churns gray and restless, mirroring the storm inside me. I stand on the deck of North Star, moored 2 kilometers from Victoria's inner harbor, my hands gripping the weathered rail. Finn's words from last night, I listened, linger like a faint beacon in the fog of my family's rejection. Malcolm Fraser's voice still echoes, calling me a disgrace at the Empress Hotel gala. Evelyn's sneer, "You're nothing," and Clara's mockery at the community center cut deeper, stripping me to the bone. At 38, after 15 years in the Royal Canadian Navy, I'm a ghost to my own blood. But Finn's quiet faith, a crack in his teenage defiance, has sparked something in me, a refusal to drown. I'm not done fighting. Not yet. As dawn breaks, painting the sky over Vancouver Island in streaks of pink and gold, a figure approaches the dock, his trench coat flapping in the coastal wind. Elias Tremblay, a journalist from the Globe and Mail, steps aboard, his eyes sharp behind wire-rimmed glasses. "Lila Fraser," he says, his voice low but urgent, "we need to talk." I nod, leading him to the cramped galley below deck, where the scent of salt and old wood clings to the air. Elias sets a manila folder on the table, its edges worn. "Your discharge from the Navy," he says, sliding it toward me. "It's sealed at a level reserved for national security. That's not standard for an honorable discharge." Something's off. My pulse quickens, a familiar combat instinct kicking in. I flip through the papers, redacted lines, cryptic codes. "What are you saying?" I ask, my voice steady but edged with suspicion. Elias leans forward, his gaze unwavering. Victor Laurent, he says, the name dripping like oil. The investor bankrolling Clara's music festival. He's tied to a scandal that sank careers in Ottawa. Bribes, contracts, missing ships. Your discharge smells like a cover-up, Lila. You saw something they didn't want out. My mind races back to my final deployment, a classified op in the Arctic, whispers of a defense contractor's name, Laurent. I'd been sidelined, pushed out, told my career was unsustainable. Malcolm had called it a noble exit. Evelyn had nodded, her silence complicit. The betrayal burns anew, hotter than ever. I pace the galley, the floor creaking under my boots. Why now, Elias? I demand. Why dig this up? He pulls out a grainy photo, a yacht, Aurora, docked off Sydney, 30 kilometers north. Lauren's hosting a gala there tomorrow. Your family's invited. I need you there to find answers. His words hit like a rogue wave. Another gala, another stage for Clara's glory, another chance for Malcolm and Evelyn to erase me. But Elias's suspicion is a lifeline, a chance to unravel why my career was stolen. Before I can respond, my phone buzzes, the screen flashing Evelyn's name. I hesitate, then answer. Lila, her voice is crisp, like a winter wind off the Strait of Georgia. Your boat's an eyesore near the inner harbor. Move it. The Butchert family complained it's ruining their view. No greeting, no concern, just another order to make way for Victoria's elite. It's not just a boat, Evelyn, I snap, my voice trembling with suppressed rage. It's my life's work. She laughs, a cold, cutting sound. Your work? Don't embarrass us further. Clara's festival is what matters. The call ends, leaving a hollow ache in my chest, but also a fire. They've dismissed me for too long. I turn to Elias, my jaw set. I'm in, I say, my voice hard as steel. A memory surfaces, sharp and vivid, my uncle, Rear Admiral James Fraser, pulling me aside after my first Arctic deployment. His eyes, kind but piercing, locked onto mine. What you did up there, Lila, takes courage most will never understand, he'd said, his voice a low rumble. Hold on to that, even when they don't see it. He was the only Fraser who ever saw me, not Clara's shadow. His words, buried under years of pain, now rise like a tide, pushing me forward. I'm not just fighting for myself anymore. I'm fighting for the truth they buried, for the sailors whose stories were silenced, for kids like Finn who need someone to believe in them. The Salish Sea stretches before me, vast and unforgiving. I'm ready to sail into the storm. The Aurora looms off the Salish Sea, 10 kilometers from Sydney's shimmering coast, its sleek hull a lie cloaked in luxury. I step onto its teak deck, my simple black dress a stark contrast to the gala's extravagance, crystal flutes, silk gowns, and the hum of Victoria's elite. My heart pounds, Malcolm Fraser's scorn from the Empress Hotel gala and Evelyn's cold dismissal, "You're nothing," still searing my soul. Clara's mockery at the community center and Evelyn's call to move North Star as an eyesore fuel my rage. Elias Tremblay's words yesterday, hinting at a cover-up tied to Victor Laurent, have brought me here, 30 kilometers from my safe haven in Victoria's inner harbor. I'm no longer the daughter they erased. I'm a naval officer, and tonight, I hunt for truth. The gala pulses with false cheer, string music drifting over the sea breeze. Victor Laurent, the investor bankrolling Clara's music festival, glides through the crowd, his smile sharp as a shark's. My family is here, Malcolm's admiral posture commanding attention, Evelyn's polished charm masking her venom, Clara glowing as the star. I'm invisible to them, a ghost in their perfect tableau. Elias, at my side, whispers, "Stay sharp, Lila. Lauren's hiding something." His folder of redacted discharge papers burns in my memory, my career, stolen by secrets. I nod, my naval training locking my nerves into focus. I slip away from the glittering deck, moving toward the lower corridors, my heels silent on the carpet. Elias's blueprint, studied last night on North Star, points to a service panel near the guest cabins, 20 meters below. The air grows cooler, the scent of fresh paint barely masking a metallic tang. My fingers trace the bulkheads, searching for the panel Elias described, a scratched surface hiding a secret. My breath catches as I find it, tucked behind a stack of linens. I kneel, my nails scraping at the glossy white paint. Flakes fall, revealing stamped letters, DDH 282. My heart stops. The world shrinks to those numbers. HMCS Athabascan. The destroyer reported lost in a training accident off Vancouver Island 6 years ago, its crew of 250 sailors mourned as heroes. This isn't a yacht. It's a desecrated tomb, painted over to serve the rich. The realization hits like a missile, my rage surging hotter than any Arctic storm I faced. I hear footsteps, Malcolm's voice, low and conspiratorial, drifting from a nearby lounge. The past stays buried, Victor, he says, his tone colder than the Salish Sea. Clara's future depends on it. Victor's chuckle slithers through the air. Of course, Admiral. Legacy comes at a price. My blood runs cold. My father, the man who called me a disgrace, isn't just complicit, he's a conspirator. He traded the lives of 250 sailors for Clara's spotlight, for his precious Fraser name. The betrayal is a knife, twisting deeper than Evelyn's words or Clara's laughter. I slip into a guest cabin, my hands trembling but my mind razor sharp. Under the bed, I spot something, a faint scratch in the steel. I crawl closer, my flashlight revealing 2 words, they know. A chill grips me. Someone else found the truth, left this warning, and was silenced. My ears ring with an imagined rhythm, tap tap tap, tap 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 tap, tap tap tap. SOS. It's not real, but it's the scream of 250 souls, trapped in this floating grave. Who did this? I whisper, my voice a raw edge of fury and grief. The answer is clear, Victor Laurent, and my family's silence. I pull out the encrypted sat phone Elias gave me, my fingers steady despite the storm in my chest. Elias, I hiss, it's Athabascan. DDH 282. Malcolm's in on it. His voice crackles back, urgent but calm. Lila, get out of there. We need a plan. No, I snap, my naval officers' resolve hardening. They don't get to bury this. Not anymore. The pain of years, Malcolm's scorn, Evelyn's rejection, Clara's theft of my light, fuels me. I'm not their failure. I'm their reckoning. The gala above continues, oblivious. But down here, in the belly of this ghost ship, I've found the truth. And I'll make them pay. The Aurora slices through the Salish Sea, its lights glittering like a false promise against the midnight sky, 10 kilometers off Sydney's coast. The weight of my discovery, DDH 282, HMCS Athabascan, a stolen destroyer masquerading as Victor Laurent's yacht, burns in my chest, hotter than the betrayal of my father, Malcolm Fraser, whose words, the past stays buried, echo like a curse. Evelyn's venom, Clara's mockery, and the chilling, they know, scratched under the guest cabin bed fuel my resolve. I'm no longer the ghost they tried to erase. I'm Lila Fraser, a Royal Canadian Navy officer, and tonight, I'm taking back the truth. Below deck, in the Aurora's engine room, the air hums with the low growl of machinery, 20 meters from the gala's opulence. I've assembled my crew, Elias Tremblay, the Globe and Mail journalist with a mind like a steel trap, Nora Campbell, my former chief engineer from the Navy, her hands steady as she surveys the room, and Sophie Chen, a young ensign whose cyber skills could outmatch any Ottawa tech. We're a shadow unit, forged in the belly of this desecrated ship. Elias's blueprint, studied on North Star last night, points to a hidden compartment behind Victor's trophy room, where the voyage data recorder, VDR, lies, the black box holding Athabascan's final moments. Nora kneels beside a massive generator, her fingers tracing its contours. This is a Halifax-class power plant, she says, her voice a low rumble, eyes narrowing. They've dressed it up with chrome, but it's navy through and through. Her words confirm what I feared. This isn't just a cover-up. It's a crime against 250 sailors' graves. My jaw clenches, rage surging like a Pacific squall. We need that VDR, I say, my voice sharp, the officer's command cutting through the engine's roar. It's our only shot to expose Lauren. Sophie nods, her tablet glowing as she scans for surveillance. No cameras here, she whispers. They rely on the noise to hide their secrets. We move as a unit, silent and precise, through the service corridors, 15 meters of steel and shadows. My heart pounds, but my training keeps my steps steady. The trophy room looms ahead, a shrine to Victor's ego, polished naval relics, a ship's bell from HMCS Bonaventure, and a folded Canadian flag labeled HMCS Athabascan. The sight twists my gut, a desecration of honor. He's not just hiding it, I hiss to Elias. He's flaunting it. Elias's eyes darken. He's untouchable, until we make him fall. Nora stops at a seamless panel, her tools glinting in the dim light. This is it, she says, her voice taut. She works quickly, her electronic picks bypassing the lock with a soft click. The panel slides open, revealing a dusty alcove and an orange metal box, the VDR. My breath catches. It's intact, a silent witness to the truth. Sophie connects her tablet, her fingers flying. Encrypted, but I can crack it, she says, her voice steady despite the stakes. It'll take time off ship. I nod, my mind racing. This box holds the voices of the dead, the proof of Victor's treason, and Malcolm's complicity. Footsteps echo nearby, sharp and deliberate. Hide, I snap, my voice low but commanding. We duck behind crates, my pulse hammering. A security guard passes, his flashlight sweeping the corridor. I hold my breath, my naval instincts screaming to stay still. He moves on, oblivious. We're clear, Elias whispers, but his eyes are grim. If Lawrence's men catch us, we're done. I meet his gaze, my resolve ironclad. They won't, I say. We're getting this out. Nora slips the VDR into a padded bag, her movements precise. This is heavier than my old kit, she mutters, a faint smirk breaking her stoic mask. Feels like carrying history. I nod, the weight of 250 souls pressing on me. We retrace our steps, the ship's hum masking our retreat. Back in the engine room, I turn to my crew. We have the weapon, I say, my voice cold as the Salish Sea. Tomorrow, at the final gala, we fire it. Sophie looks up, her young face fierce. For the crew, ma'am, she says, her voice a vow. Elias grips my shoulder. For the truth. Nora just nods, her silence louder than words. My family tried to bury me, Malcolm with his scorn, Evelyn with her disdain, Clara with her spotlight. But I'm not their failure. I'm their judge. The Aurora's lights fade behind us, but the storm is just beginning. The Aurora's deck gleams under the Salish Sea starlit sky, 10 kilometers off Sydney's coast, but its polished facade hides a graveyard, HMCS Athabascan, DDH-282, stolen from the Royal Canadian Navy. My hands still tremble from securing the voyage data recorder, VDR, the black box that holds the truth about 250 lost sailors, now tucked safely in Nora Campbell's bag below deck. Malcolm Fraser's betrayal, the past stays buried, and Evelyn's cold dismissal burn like salt in an open wound. Clara's spotlight, Finn's quiet faith, and the chilling, they know, scratched into steel fuel my fire. I'm Lila Fraser, a naval officer forged in Arctic storms, and tonight, I face the enemy head-on. The gala's chatter fills the air, a veneer of elegance masking Victor Lawrence's treachery. I slip back to the upper deck, my black dress blending into the shadows, my heart pounding like a war drum. Elias Tremblay, Nora, and Sophie Chen are in position, ready for tomorrow's final strike, but a cold hand grips my arm. Victor Laurent looms before me, his tailored suit pristine, his eyes glinting like a predator's in the dim light. A word, Commander Fraser, he purrs, his voice smooth as oil, pulling me toward the starboard railing, 15 meters from the crowd. My naval instincts scream, assess, neutralize. But I follow, my face a mask of calm. He leans close, the scent of his cologne sharp against the sea breeze. You've been poking around my ship, he says, his smile a blade. A naval officer playing with kids on a rusty boat. Yet here you are, sniffing where you don't belong. My stomach twists, but I hold his gaze, my voice steady. I know what this ship is, Lauren. HMCS Athabascan. You can't hide it. His laugh is low, venomous. Bold words, Lila. But you're out of your depth. Your father made a deal, millions for his silence, for Clara's pretty little festival. Walk away, or your precious program sinks faster than this ship should have. The words hit like a torpedo. Malcolm, my own blood, sold the lives of 250 sailors for Clara's fame. My vision blurs with rage, but my training keeps my voice cold. You think you can scare me? I say, stepping closer, my eyes locked on his. I swore an oath to protect this country. You and Malcolm broke yours. Victor's smile falters, just for a second, then hardens. Oaths are cheap, he sneers. Your family's legacy is built on my money. One call, and your North Star is scrap metal. Your kids, Finn, was it, will be back on the streets. My fists clench, nails biting into my palms. He knows Finn's name. He's been watching me. I lean in, my voice a low growl. Threaten my kids, and you'll regret it. I'm not the Fraser you can bury. Victor's eyes narrow, his hand twitching as if to signal someone. I spot a shadow, his security, lurking 5 meters away. My pulse races, but I stand tall, my naval posture unyielding. You're a ghost, Lila, he says, his voice dripping with contempt. No one will believe you. Not against me. He turns, striding back to the gala, leaving me alone with the crashing waves and my fury. I retreat to a quiet corner of the deck, my breath ragged. The pain of Malcolm's betrayal, Evelyn's disdain, and Clara's stolen spotlight surges anew, but Victor's threat against Finn and North Star is a line he shouldn't have crossed. My mind flashes to my uncle, Rear Admiral James Fraser, his words after my Arctic op, courage most will never understand. That courage surges now, a tidal wave drowning my doubt. I pull out the sat phone, my fingers steady despite the storm in my chest. Elias, I whisper, he knows I'm onto him. We move faster. Tomorrow's gala is our only shot. His voice crackles back, resolute. We're ready, Lila. Nora's rigging the VDR transfer. Sophie's prepping the network hack. We've got your back. I look out at the Salish Sea, its dark waves reflecting my resolve. Victor thinks he's untouchable, that Malcolm's complicity and Evelyn's silence protect him. He's wrong. Tomorrow, at the final gala, we'll tear down his empire. The VDR's truth, those 250 voices, will be my weapon. I'm not just fighting for myself anymore. I'm fighting for Finn, for the sailors, for the honor Malcolm sold. The Aurora's lights flicker like a dying star. My war is here, and I'm ready to strike. The Aurora's grand ballroom glows under crystal chandeliers, 10 kilometers off Sydney's coast, a glittering lie masking HMCS Athabascan's stolen steel. My heart thunders, Victor Lauren's threat, your North Star is scrap metal, still searing my soul, alongside Malcolm Fraser's betrayal, Evelyn's disdain, and Clara's stolen spotlight. The Voyage Data Recorder, VDR, secured last night with Nora Campbell, Sophie Chin, and Elias Tremblay, is our weapon, its truth ready to shatter this facade. I stand at the back, my black dress a shadow among Victoria's elite, my naval training locking my nerves into steel. Tonight, I'm not Lila Fraser, the disgraced daughter. I'm a commander, and this is my battle. Victor takes the stage, his voice booming through the state-of-the-art sound system. This partnership with the Fraser family strengthens Canada's future, he declares, raising a glass, his smile a predator's mask. Malcolm claps, his admiral's pride radiant, Evelyn beams, her elegance a lie, Clara glows, oblivious. I catch Sophie's eye, hidden behind a velvet curtain 5 meters away, her laptop ready. Elias, near a service exit, grips his sat phone, connected to the RCMP's Vancouver office. Nora, stationed by the power panel, nods subtly. I give the signal, a single, sharp nod. The sound system screeches, cutting Victor off. The massive screen behind him, flashing Lawrence logo and the Fraser crest, goes black. A gasp ripples through the crowd. Then, in stark white letters, DDH 282, HMCS Athabascan appears, followed by the Royal Canadian Navy SEAL. A voice erupts, Captain MacDonald's, raw and desperate, from the VDR, this is not a drill. I refuse the order. Mayday. The room freezes. Grainy footage flickers, MacDonald on Athabascan's bridge, 6 years ago, struggling against Lawrence hired men. Documents flash, a contract signed by Victor, a wire transfer of $5 million to Evelyn's private account, dated days after the ship's accident. Panic erupts. Turn it off. Victor roars, his face crimson, lunging toward the stage crew. But Sophie's hack holds firm. It's over, Laurent, I say, stepping into the light, my voice cold as the Salish Sea. The crowd parts, their eyes wide. Malcolm's face crumples, his admiral's mask shattered. Evelyn's hand flies to her chest, her composure gone. Clara stammers, Lila, what have you done? I meet her gaze, unflinching. I didn't break this family, Clara. You and your lies did. The ballroom doors burst open, the thud echoing like gunfire. RCMP officers in tactical gear flood in, their boots pounding the polished floor. A helicopter's rotor blades hum outside, its spotlight slicing through the windows. Inspector Marie Dubois, her badge gleaming, strides forward. Victor Laurent, she declares, her voice cutting through the chaos, you're under arrest for conspiracy, murder, and treason against Canada. Officer sees Victor, his protests drowned by handcuffs clicking. She turns to Malcolm. Admiral Fraser, you're coming with us for questioning. His eyes meet mine, wide with shock, but I offer only silence, a verdict louder than words. Evelyn lunges toward me, her face twisted. You've ruined us, she hisses. A good daughter would have stayed quiet. My voice is steady, final. A good mother wouldn't protect a murderer. Clara sobs, her perfect world collapsing, but I feel no pity. The RCMP escorts them out, the crowd whispering in horror. The Aurora, no, Athabascan, stands exposed, its 250 souls finally heard. I stand tall, my rage transformed into purpose. Victor's empire is dust, Malcolm's legacy ash. I'm no longer their ghost. I'm their reckoning, and the truth is my victory. The Aurora, no, HMCS Athabascan, sits silent off Sydney's coast, its lights dimmed, a crime scene stripped of glamour. The RCMP's helicopter blades fade into the Salish Sea's quiet, leaving only the weight of victory and loss. Victor Lawrence's empire lies in ruins, Malcolm Fraser's legacy ash, Evelyn's venom silenced, Clara's spotlight snuffed out. I stand on the deck, 10 kilometers from shore, my black dress tattered but my spine straight. The pain of their betrayal, Malcolm's scorn, Evelyn's, you're nothing, Clara's mockery, lingers, but it no longer defines me. I'm Lila Fraser, a Royal Canadian Navy officer, and I've reclaimed the truth for 250 souls. Weeks later, dawn breaks over Victoria's inner harbor, painting the sky in hues of cedar and gold. My North Star is gone, replaced by Beacon, a sleek training vessel funded by the Canadian Veterans Foundation. Finn, no longer the defiant teen, stands beside me, his hands steady on the helm. Elias Tremblay, Nora Campbell, and Sophie Chen join us at the dock, their presence a family forged not by blood but by loyalty. Finn hands me a wooden plaque, carved with the names of every kid in the Salish Sea Youth Navigators. For you, Commander, ma'am, he says, his voice thick with pride. My eyes sting, not with pain but with a warmth I'd forgotten. This is my legacy, not a name on a wall, but hope kindled in hearts like Finn's. Life's storms don't break us, they shape us. When your family casts you out, find those who see your worth. Legacy isn't wealth or titles, it's the light you spark in others. I learned this on the cold waters of the Salish Sea, and it's a truth worth sharing. If my story moved you, please like this video and share your own journey in the comments. Let's light the darkness together. Subscribe to True North Courage for more stories of resilience. Every voice matters.